Today's lesson, solving inequalities using addition and subtraction, and then soon enough we'll get into multiplication and division. So what's an inequality? Well, these are the signs: less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. You've seen these before, but now we're actually going to play with them much more. Same as that, or equal to, same as that, or equal to. What's it mean? Well, you could write things like x is less than or equal to 6, which would be you're handing out desserts, and there's only 6 desserts. So you can have up to 6 desserts. The number of desserts you can have is less than 6. If you have to share with your brothers and sisters, then it might be a little bit challenging. So how do we graph? This we use a number line. Early on, we'll make the number line fairly complex, but later on we'll make it much simpler. This is read as x is less than 4. So go to 4, make a dot, and then we scribble the line next to it. The open dot means not equal to. If the dot is filled in, which I'll show you in a second, then it means equal to, or less than, or greater than. So x is greater than or equal to 6. Make our number line. It's greater than or equal to 6, so we go out to 6, make a circle, scribble over, and since it's got an equal to, we fill in the dot. Equal to if it's filled in. So, real example. Lowest recorded temperature ever was recorded in Antarctica was negative 129. Now that's the lowest it ever got anywhere in the world. So, describe the temperature there. Well, the temperature has to be greater than or equal to negative 129 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's it. I wanted to draw that on a number scale. You would do this. Fill it in. And it's always going to be warmer than negative 129 if you can actually imagine that. So how do we solve? Just like we did before. Except we keep the inequality. And this is the simpler way to do this. Just put a 9. Circle it. It's not equal to. Fill it in. That's it. Are there any special rules to remember? You know, in math, there's always going to be some special rules. Ha, not this time. There's no special rules to remember. Just keep your inequality. Not n equals. Now you can always check these if you want when we solve them. So for example, it has to be less than 9. Well, let's say 7 is less than 9. So put it back in. Is 7 minus 3 less than 6? Is 4 less than 6? And we'd say yes. It looks like we did it right. But that's not essential. It's just good practice. Now, multiplying and dividing. Just jump right in. It's the exact same thing. Previously, you'd multiply by 4 over 1 on both sides. You get x is equal to 20. Now, multiply by 4 on both sides. You get x is less than 20. That's it. Going to graph it. Less than 20 is to the left. Open dot. Done. So Any special rules to remember? Well, this case, yes. There's the whole divide or multiply by a negative. When that happens, you flip the sign. Flip the inequality, I should say. This takes getting used to. Pretty easy once you get the idea. So, for example, if we had negative 2x plus 1 less than or equal to 3, we'd solve it. Get negative 2x less than or equal to 2. Now we divide by negative 2. So we flip the sign. X is greater than negative 1. So right there to right there, flip the sign. Why do we have to do that? Well, we have to because there's other ways to solve this. Some of you might remember this. We could add 2x to both sides and subtract 3 from both sides. When we add 2x, hey, we got rid of the negative. Divide by 2. We get x is greater than negative 1. Always read the variable first. X is greater than negative 1. So we could also write it like this. That is the same as that. So that's why we flip the sign. When you're multiplying or dividing by a negative, not if you multiply a negative, if you multiply or divide by a negative. For example, if you do this, you divide by 2, this is not negative. Therefore, the sign stays the same. Be careful. Practice makes perfect. So here's 2 to practice. Pardon me, 3 to practice. Divide by 2. No negatives involved, so it's a piece of cake. And I'd like to rewrite it. Put it on a number line. X is greater than or equal to 25. Fill in the dot. Divide by negative 3. Am I multiplying or dividing by a negative? I am. Flip the sign. Pardon me, flip the inequality. Negative 40 over 3. That's about negative 13. It's about there, I would say. It's not equal to, so I don't fill it in. And divide by negative 1. X is, flip the sign, less than negative 4. Can rewrite it as less than negative 4. That's it. Get to work. Good luck.